Well, it is finally here. We have a physical proof of the Glumdark book in my hands. Really excited to talk about it. I should say off the top that we're expecting a bound copy of the book, both deluxe and standard, to arrive within a few days. And I'll send out a separate notice when that happens. But if you want to avoid any spoilers for what's inside the book, maybe skip this video because I'll be talking about some real specific stuff. First of all, the book is huge. It really feels substantial. It was hard to get a sense of just how big it would be in PDF form, but holding it and seeing how dense it is, I find it to be super satisfying. Taking a look inside, you'll notice right away that we went with this cream color for the pages. The paper is really thick, really satisfying, and this hue of the paper kind of pushes these values back and gives it a bit of an aged and weathered look, which is just perfect. When you look at larger drawings like this, the blacks still have a real warmth, real inkiness to them, and the reds just leap off the page, so I'm super happy with that choice. One of the big questions we had about the paper choice was whether the few times that we had critical information in red on black, whether it would register well enough. I think it does. It's subdued a bit, but the hue of it really has it stand out. I don't think I would do it differently. I like the consistency with the rest of the pages, where numbers are always in red and content is always black or white. One thing I wanted to see was just how well some of the manipulation of the text itself came out. I wrote a series of InDesign plugins that would randomly change the position of the letters, their thickness or thinness. Although you get these runs of heavy ink or these runs of light ink or words kind of pushed together, it's still just as readable, and that was the goal. If anything, I think I could have gone a little more heavy-handed with it, and that's perfect. I would rather go a little too light than a little too heavy and have the book be easy to read, and I think that it is. At the front of the book, you've got this really helpful table of contents. It is the first thing that you see, and it should help to navigate and get to any of the pages that you want to see while you're in the middle of DMing a session, or just building characters or worlds for your players, or whether you're a player at the table. At the back of the book, there is an index, which I really doubt will be helpful at all, but it was really fun to make for me and really horrible to edit for Walt, our editor. One thing I want to point out is that there's only one reference to a donkey in the book. That's on me. That's a mistake that I made and I just have to live with. But we do have many references to death, the dead, and blood. So in that way, hopefully we make up for it at least a little bit. It's just so great to see a lot of these illustrations come to life. I've seen them so many times over the course of the years working on this book, and it's like seeing them all for the first time. I think they really register well. I mean, obviously Ville's work is just remarkable, and seeing it on the page like this is such a treat for me. It might have been interesting to play with the signatures and where exactly they begin and end. You can see that the signatures are not all the same sizes, and there is a little bit that you can kind of do there to manipulate that, although that is a rabbit hole that I have never even peered down. And it's possible that some of these alignments, some of these kind of wacky marginal things that we do could have been perfected by really being particular about where these signatures begin and end. But as I said, that's something I have never really explored, and maybe that will be saved for the next book. I'm a big fan of the curses, diseases, and insanities illustrations. The curses illustration was originally this guy, but with maggots crawling in and out of his skin and eyes. One of the few drawings that I told Ville was just way too gross for me, and I asked, can we just give him crab hands instead? Ville obliged, and now he's a crabby boy, and I don't feel sick when I look at this page, which I think is an improvement. Altogether, my take on the book, I feel really happy with the design choices that we made and the production choices that we made, so we'll just have to see what it looks like once it's finally bound. The remaining steps will be to paint the edges of the pages black. Obviously there will be bookmarks. Both will be hard bound. The deluxe version will be ink foil stamped and debossed, and the regular version will be UV coated. We can't wait to see it, and I'll be providing updates as soon as they come in.